Talking about sports, talking about ball, talking about the weekend, well how about the Dogs? Pull out your brunch now, butter your biscuit. It's the Sunday Scary Show, you don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to another edition of the Sunday Scary Show. On the precipice of spooky season, we are in store for an extra scary edition of the Sunday Scaries, following a frustrating, pulling out your hair, Georgia loss again to Alabama. Chito, I had a list of things I want to shit on this team about, pull them apart, but I'm going to start off Dog Nation with a step back to say that we are still in line with our larger season goals, SEC championship goals, playoff contention goals, national championship goals. The defense killed it in the second half. The running game actually looked outstanding, but we had a lot of problems with this team and with Bama. So what do you see that you think we need to immediately improve on to get the season rolling to where we want to go? And how did you feel overall just about the game?
So listen, I know everybody's feeling some type of way, and I'm sure there are some nasty hangovers being had at the moment, but there's not going to be any sugarcoating today. All right, guys, this is what we talk about when we talk about a mental hurdle when it comes to Alabama. But it really wasn't all bad, but we just got to sit here. We got to call a spade, right? I hate losing to Alabama. And to all the Alabama fans that may watch this, congrats to you guys. You really needed this win, and you played like it. I thought that we did a lot of good things, but overall, it kind of felt like we were outcoached for the majority of the game, right? This is a bad way to lose, but I don't think when it's all said and done that this is going to be a bad overall loss, right? Like, yes, losing at home sucks. Yes, having every opportunity to put this team away sucks, but you're down in the SEC race now. But again, Ole Miss beat LSU. We still get to see Texas. We still got to deal with Auburn and Florida. There's a lot of season left, and this is just the reality of college football now, right? It's more like the NFL, or one loss. Although this one feels like the world is ending, it's really not. It's really not. And as far as the game itself, I kind of like the game plan. We sat here and talked about how the running the ball was going to be the best way for UGA to win this game. And we ran all up and down that field, in my opinion. We ran extremely well. And this is with missing offensive linemen. I thought we could have pulled the ball more with Gunner, with counter pulls and things like that. We used it a couple times. I think we should have spammed it more or less, but we didn't do that, especially with the situation on the 4th and 1 with Cash Jones. In my opinion, that's probably one of the bigger plays that people are talking about. Kick the field goal. Me, I don't mind going for it, but why Cash Jones in a goal line situation? I'd rather you pull the ball, take the 3 points. I mean, that cost us 3 right there, and then you got Nate Frazier's fumble that cost us 3 there. So, again, I think Georgia had every opportunity to win this game, but you really just didn't make the plays that you needed to make.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Gunner was not seeing the field like he really needed to. And although he played pretty outstanding against Tennessee and made some impeccable throws, I kind of mentioned that, like, there were times he got lucky. There was a time where a ball went straight into an Alabama defender's hands. He got lucky there. And we did not throw a pass to a tight end in this game. That's a problem for Georgia. Our tight end room is known to be one of the best in the country. And when you have an elite tight end room that you do not throw to in a game against elite competition, you are asking for trouble. We said coming into this game that we thought they had a clear edge in the running back room and the tight end position. Well, we ran the hell out of the ball, did pretty well there, over 200 yards on the ground, but we did not throw a pass to a tight end. That is problematic. So I think, ironically, if we played this type of styled game, passing to whoever it may be with like a Carson Beck type, we'd have been set up. But Gunner's strengths, like you mentioned, are being able to pull it and run it, keep the defense honest, and we just didn't do enough of that. That's our strength with Gunner.
And counter that, because Alabama kept killing us, slipping a running back or a tight end out of the backfield, and no defender hitting them. The game-winning first down, running back slips out, catches a little pass in the flat, first down, game over. I mean, over and over again, the simplest concepts. And you're right. It's like Bobo's not doing And again, this is not a knock on Bobo. The running game was elite. I still think we need to throw the ball more vertically down the field instead of predictable with the screens. But yeah, the tight ends aren't involved, and that's such a weapon that we have. Like, why not? You're telling me Lawson Lucky over the course of one offseason is no longer the threat that we saw? You're telling me the Oscar Delp is no longer a weapon to be used? I just don't believe it. And don't get me started on Noah Thomas. I was watching it with some buddies here in Chattanooga, and one of my friends was like, Noah Thomas just sucks. I was like, okay, so if he sucks, the Texas A&M tape last year didn't say that. And if he sucks, why did you bring him here? And if you brought him here and he sucks, why aren't you? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't feel like we're using all of the weapons yet. But again, maybe this changes, but just a bad way to lose a game, man. It just seems like a winnable opportunity to me.
Yeah, and we had so many chances. Like we had 2 chances in the fourth quarter to go up on Bama. The biggest problem I have with not kicking that field goal, everything's about hindsight, but the biggest problem I had with not kicking the field goal is what we followed it up with. It wasn't even just the play in itself with Cash Jones, which was a little messy. It's just the fact that we rushed it. And schematically, sometimes it's just about a numbers game. Oh, we got 3-on-2, bet. We did not have the schematics there, and we rushed into a bad schematic. So that following not kicking, it just sucks. Like if the play had looked a little bit cleaner, or let's say we had a good look and Gunner just falls down, well, at least, hey, he slipped. Turf Monster got him, but the play looked good. We just rushed into a bad play. So it's just like, what do we do? And I would say probably the biggest disappointing thing is our level of poise, honestly, like play call and such, but Kirby looked stressed out throughout the game. I get that, like, you're not going to feel amazing and just be all smiles with how things go. But, like, Kirby throughout his career is a control freak, which is why he can get the program to where it needs to go. But during the game, you kind of need to loosen up a little bit, not play so tight, because it affects the morale of the team, your staff. And I just don't like Kirby's body language sometimes in these bigger games where I don't think it serves you. Like at a certain point, feeling bad might be warranted or feeling tight might be warranted, but it's just not going to serve you. And same thing for Gunner Stockton. There was a play specifically, I think it was a 2nd and 9, where camera zooms in on Gunner. I'm like, man, he doesn't look right for this play. Like you can see it in someone's face. Like he looks a little stressed. He does not look like, okay, we got this, let's go. He looks like, and sure enough, he gets the ball. And just like an inexperienced freshman might do, like on the road, he takes 2 steps back and then just runs into a collapsing pocket, straight into defenders, straight into blockers. And that's the kind of thing you see at the lower levels of football when a quarterback is just in over their head. It was just a bad look. And then the next play, you could tell, camera zoomed in on his face. He kind of had his game face on. But it was just like at certain times, the moment just seemed a little bit too big for Gunner. There was a clear play where he had like 5 or 6 yards he could have rushed for, and he overthrew like a 40-yard pass down the field. He also had Oscar Delp open towards the sideline. So when you're doing that kind of thing, you're not putting yourself in a position to win. So I think on the whole, I just wish we could like gain some poise and then just figure out a way to use more of our weapons. But we had every chance. Shutting out Bama in the second half is a feat, an accomplishment within itself. And there were a lot of things we did good for this season, but I really just did not like how at times we did not have poise. And yeah, like tight end room has to be involved. But what do you think?
I've got several kind of things that I took away from this game. Maybe it's me on this island, but Gunner's not one of them. This wasn't one of his best games, but that's not where my concern is. A couple of things is, in my opinion, Chauncey Bowens is running back 1. If I'm coaching for my job, Nate Frazier cannot play for me if he can't protect the football. Cost us 3 points there with that turnover. Even before the game got started, really, that Ryan Williams drop really changed the entire complexity of the game, right? And then you come back later and Talon Taylor has a huge drop for a touchdown, and that kind of changed it back. So that kind of evened out, but these are the opportunities that you gave up. And to the defense's credit, and Glenn Schumann specifically, because I was starting to get a little irked by the defense, after halftime, the secondary really tightened it up. They stopped trying to force getting to Ty Simpson because they couldn't get there, and started just dropping or dedicating more people back into coverage. And I thought we started to have success. Ellis Robinson, got beat so many times on Saturday night, but he even started to grow a little bit as the game went on. And ultimately, I think we all think he's going to be a great player. He's just really struggling. This is a young team. We've talked about that. It's going to take a lot of time. I already mentioned the running backs and tight ends slipping out of the backfield. That is an adjustment you have to make. I don't know why that took so long to get done. And then Bobo. This is not a knock on Bobo. I just think the screens need to be a little bit less predictable, right? My favorite play of the night was when Alabama ran a screen to Caden Proctor, an offensive lineman down at the goal line. That is creativity. That is unpredictable play call. That is an amazing play. How hard is it to tackle an offensive tackle at the goal line? Like, that's crazy. But I do want to give Bobo a shout out for the reverse to Dylan Bell. Probably one of the more explosive plays that I've seen from Dylan Bell in a little while. Really good to see that. He may not be the most freakish athlete, but once he gets out in open space, buddy can run. So just some things that I saw from the highlights kind of rewatching this morning.
Yeah, it's not like Bobo really called that bad of a game. You're talking
Not at
about
all.
if Tylen Taylor catches that pass, the game looks different. If Gunner Stockton looks a little bit more downfield and like sees where receivers are open, like you're looking at a screenshot where you got guys schemed open. That means that the play was drawn up pretty well. That requires your quarterback to notice where open receivers are and make a throw. So he had a couple of open tight ends throughout the night. So I enjoyed a lot of what we did on the field, but it just sucks. Like having Bama come in there and dominate in certain ways. Like they were just kicking our ass and we kind of played into their hands. We had every opportunity in the fourth quarter. We kept giving them the ball. We kept making stops. Like a lot of what we wanted to do was good, but I think it's a big problem not throwing to the tight end room. It's one of our better position groups. You got to do it. And they were down like 2 or 3 linebackers. Who's covering the tight end other than the linebackers? They're on their third string linebacker, and we're not throwing a tight end pass over the middle.
It's frustrating. It really is frustrating. But what makes it the most frustrating is that, yes, we are beatable. We have to accept that as like the new college football. But Alabama, that's a beatable team. That's a beatable team. There is nothing that we couldn't have done to win that game. We got so many breaks on top of that, and we just didn't take advantage of the things that were right there for the taking. And this is going to start to be a conversation. I'm going to go ahead and kind of put this out there. I'm not knocking anybody, but it's kind of getting to the point to where in this new age of college football, can Georgia win with these performances from these coordinators? There's a lot of football left to be played, and there's no need to like start fire such and such. There's just no need. But can we get over the hump when these opportunities are here? Like as an offensive coordinator, you have to have a game plan. We're going to take advantage of this because it's clear as day. As a defensive coordinator, we got to hit this guy coming out of the backfield because that's an obvious adjustment to make. I don't know. Maybe it's a situation to where they don't want to put all their cards out there for Bama now. I just don't like that. It feels more like an excuse, especially because it's always Alabama that seems to do this to us. And we can't count on, oh, we'll beat them in the SEC, or we'll beat them in the national championship. That's not college football anymore. It's not that anymore. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I'd say, and give credit to Alabama that the moment doesn't seem too big for them. Like,
no, absolutely not.
If they did anything better than us, it was just perform clutch. And that's really the thing they've done better for a while, is just be a little bit more clutch. And to be fair, like Gunner Stockton's really only on his like 4th start, and he's playing a little bit like an inexperienced quarterback by not taking check downs, doing what Kirby said he wanted them to do before the game started. Take what the defense gives them. There wasn't enough of that. And to have a quarterback that maybe isn't going to be the guy that drops back 50 times and throws for 400 yards, he's got this running ability. He ran 5 times for 20 yards. That's not enough, especially when I can look on tape, and I'm no defensive coordinator, but I saw that Florida State was running midline runs with their quarterback, and it wasn't a matter of Tommy C., however you say his last name, being so fast and athletic, which he is a little bit more athletic than Gunner. They didn't need that. They just lined up their blockers. He put a hand on a guard's back, and just kind of moseyed out 5 or 6, 7 yards because Alabama could not shift and adjust. So it wasn't a matter of like, they had Michael Vick at quarterback and that's why the midline runs were successful. As simple as getting blockers in place. And we ran that one time, and guess what? It was successful. And it was kind of like it wasn't as a traditional midline run, but it was a designed QB run to the outside. And
yeah. I saw the same play. I was calling for it before it happened. We ran it. I was happy. Never saw it again. It's just like, just tell me. Sometimes I just want to sit down with Bobo and just like, tell me why. Like, explain to me the logic. But again, not my job. I'm not an offensive coordinator, whatever. It's frustrating, man. It really is.
Yeah, and there was a couple times too where Gunner should have pulled it. It was his call to pull it, and that's something that even if Bobo's in the headset yelling, hey, pull it, that's Gunner's decision to make. And that's the thing where I would say that this game was by far Gunner's worst. And it wasn't because of anything amazing that Alabama's defense did. It was just a little bit lack of aggression. He did not have the aggression that he had in the SEC championship game. He did not have the confidence or the poise that he had with Tennessee. And maybe it's just the pressure of being Georgia's QB or whatever, but like you just got to step up and make those plays, calm down if you need to calm down. But he just looked a little bit rattled and, did not pull it like he needed to. And that's just something that is going to be a weapon with Georgia. Like playing the NCAA matchups leading into this week, Alabama will just push the ball down the field. They got tons of weapons. But the thing that Georgia has is a little bit more athletic, running-minded quarterback, which can help control the game, help control the clock. So I think going into the rest of the season, we have to lean on our strengths. And I honestly think that we had it a little bit easy this year. Did it not benefit Alabama to lose to Florida State because they have the highest blue chip ratio? People like Josh Pate have them picked for their national champion this year. The expectations are through the roof. They got a 5-star quarterback, waited his senior year. Guys like Caden Proctor are older. We got 2 freshmen linemen playing. So Bama is set up to have a great season. They showed up. They showed out. But Georgia is a little bit younger. The quarterback's looking a little bit more inexperienced. So I think we got to call a spade a spade. We had 2 cupcake games. We did not lean into it to get better. And, hey, if you want the season to be meaningful and make the most out of it, you got to learn from this loss, and it could be a great thing. Despite it being a horrible experience as a fan, it could be a great thing for Georgia, for Kirby Smart. And just like Alabama has to play Vandy, Tennessee, some of these other teams that have not been easy for them, Georgia has to step back, fix the fixable, correctable mistakes, and then just get back ready and hopefully have more poise and confidence for the next game because we cannot play so tight. Yes, the narrative's there. We've lost to Alabama, but you can just tell Kirby looked tight. Gunner looked tight. We need to loosen the fuck up, man up, nut up, and just fucking be a little bit more aggressive and confident when we play. Hey, we got a game against Kentucky coming up, so we better come correct and get our game face on. As always, you guys know what it is. This is Sunday Scaries here at Dogs Off the Leash.
Talking about sports, talking about ball, talking about the weekend, well, how about the dogs? Pull out your brunch now, butter your biscuit. It's the Sunday Scary Show. You don't want